Welcome back to the end of WWE 2K19. I am your host, attackslug. Today we're talking about Towers Mode. And Towers Mode was a feature that was introduced in 2K19 and will continue in 2K20. And oh my god, I have a big head. Oh good god, that's terrifying. So, much like Universe Mode, it's a mode that I think conceptually is interesting, but also is not quite all the way there for me, for what I do here on the channel. And a lot of that is because when you compare it to other Towers-type modes in, say, Injustice, Mortal Kombat, those kinds of games, it comes down to how long does the average match take in those games, in fighting games, versus in a wrestling game. And so that comes down to a time commitment, and you don't always have that time to do 6 matches, 8 matches, whatever, in a row, considering how long the average wrestling match could take. Fighting games, a whole different story. Those matches, if you're good, can go way shorter. But I think that in wrestling, perhaps if the gameplay was sped up, or if the amount of matches were less, I might play it more. But I will say, it does give you incentive to come back and play every single day when you have new towers every single day. And the concept of having different stipulations, different variations on those towers is a cool thing. The other problem is generally the rewards are not worth bothering with, because hey, it's more VC. It's more of the other currencies that you can earn to get more of these stupid loot packs in the game. And my feelings on that are very well established on this channel. I don't want loot packs in a wrestling game. Now, I will say from what I've seen this year, 2K20, and what they're doing with these story towers in, say, the DLC and whatnot. That stuff is unlocking more gameplay-relevant stuff, including costumes, including characters, including different variations for the weapons. Alright, that I can accept having skins locked behind completing towers, because that's what Mortal Kombat does, that's what Injustice does. You're just getting extra stuff for things you already have and giving them different skins, and that is a good incentive to play the towers. And there is the big-headed dream. So in all honesty, putting that stuff behind towers this year is going to make me play more of towers this year, because I want to unlock all the stuff, and apparently Accelerator is not going to give you everything that you would usually get with Accelerator. So, obviously, I want all the stuff. I'm going to have to play more of the game to get all the stuff. Oh my god, my head is huge. Here we go. What other stipulations here? Pin or submission, normal, big head. I have 2 finishers, Dream, and I think this is on normal for a tower. So again, difficulty is a big part of this stuff. I don't mind having towers on a higher difficulty. That's fine. But when it comes to how long matches can take when you're on a higher difficulty, that becomes, and a 2 count for Dream. Don't worry, Dream. I got one more for you. Don't you worry, Velveteen. Don't you worry. I'm gonna stomp you into oblivion and make you waste your reversals. That's right, I will. So yes, that's kind of, when you're playing this game on, say, Expert or Legend or whatever, it becomes an issue of, alright, these matches take, up to 15 minutes to play. If not longer, depending on what the stipulation is, right? And that being the case, when you have, 5 matches in a row of that, it becomes man, that's just a time investment for what should be a quick mode. Alright, sit here and play for 20 minutes for the whole mode and get what you're going to get. Half an hour at the maximum. But it shouldn't be, an hour plus investment for a towers type deal. There you go, Dream. Clean finish. Just squashed him like a bug. Tell me who next. After that 2-star match, I'm now level 38 in this. Tell me who next. You see, here I can go over to, my rewards. I got style points. I got this. I got, XP is not a thing I care about in this game as a reward for finishing a tower. Here's Bobby Fish. And I certainly understand that not all towers have to be finished in one go. Like, you have ones you can kind of do part of and then come back to. But, by and large, if I'm sitting here coming in to play a game, I'm going to want to sit down for, a good half an hour, play through beginning, middle, end, and complete the challenge and unlock, VC, and then, say, alright, I finished that, and then move on to something else with my day. Like, ideally, that's the plan. Now, in terms of video content, again, that's for me as a YouTube video guy, is like, alright, some of these towers can take, an hour plus, and I'm like, that's not for video content, that's not how I do video. Like, I could, but again, my camera, my voice, everything else, it's just not, like, give me a good 20-30 minutes, and I can edit that down to the good parts, or whatever, and we're alright. Like, for a live stream, sure, that's fine, but I don't stream that much, so for me, I'm all about putting these videos up as videos, ideally. So yeah, I don't know, it's, again, conceptually, I like it a lot. And in practice, some of it I do like. But I'm looking forward to seeing how it's handled. Just a regular match here with Fish. Alright. What are you going to do? But I'm looking forward to seeing how it's handled in 2K20. I've seen they're using text boxes for their story towers. And if you see my videos about how I've been like, hey man, use text for your My Career stuff for I don't know how many years now, saying, hey man, Here Comes the Pain did it, and it was great there, so why not do it like that again? And it's been like, alright, here it is, some text. And I know folks who are used to having everything be fully voiced are gonna be mad about that. As someone who's played Fire Pro recently, I'm fine with text. I got no problem there. It is a way to get your impressions game up, as you're gonna be doing a lot of impressions of these different superstars in this mode. Or, ideally, in this mode. But yeah, having bits of story, having some context to that stuff, and also having better rewards for that stuff is going to make you want to play towers more in 2K20 and give you more of that coverage here, either on this channel or on my second channel. Go sub to that one, because YouTube, man, like, you can't upload more than 3 videos a day and get notifications. So, I got 2 channels, I'm going to start using both of them when this game comes out, because I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to, in terms of notifications. Click that bell. Do that thing. Right? So, that's just kind of a note on my end here on how I handle content. But yes, I am looking forward to seeing how they've refined towers. Again, this all kind of depends on the gameplay still being how it is here, and a lot of what I've seen in video form so far has not been encouraging for 2K20. Untouched. 100% untouched. Ya boy steamrolling them today. Next up is EY. Eric Young. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on towers as such. Hopefully just, again, regular. But a longer time limit for some reason. I'm not sure why that is, but hey, perhaps Eric Young actually going to be a fight here for the first time today. I've had so many just auto finishers at the start of the matches, which has been, obviously good for me and bad for my opponents. Now then, what's been happening in wrestling in the past 24 hours? We got some huge, or potentially huge news. I said there was going to be a big deal happening in Japan overnight that I heard about. That there were a bunch of rumors and such. And the rumors of it being New Japan and Stardom ended up being factual. So yes, the parent company of New Japan, Bushiroad, has purchased or absorbed or whatever, acquired Stardom in Japan. Now, that does not necessarily mean we're going to have immediate New Japan and Stardom, inter-promotional stuff going on, but that does mean that potential is there. And if you have perhaps both of those subscription services, then maybe they'll combine those. And maybe, just maybe, they can lend some of the English commentary from New Japan to cover some events for Stardom. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. That would definitely increase the value of that whole bit of business. So, apparently, WWE had put in an offer, much like how they tried to buy Noah. They also tried to buy Stardom. And I'm like, man, they really want to get in on Japan And Japan's like, nah. Much like trying to sell the Xbox in Japan, they're like, nah. So yeah, they really want that NXT Japan thing happening, and so far they've been stymied in their efforts to get into that market. It was obviously a lot easier in the UK. There was much less of a language barrier there. But there was still obviously some blowback from the UK indies with that whole thing and how they're getting in those locked-in contracts and whatever else. So many gun stunts. So many gun stunts, Eric Young. You should be used to it by now. Used to it by now. Strong grapple. Boom, Death Rider. So yes, last night was AEW and NXT for the third week. It was the third week of the Wednesday Night Wars. And that was what it was. Like, I watched both those shows again, head to head, like an idiot, like a moron, like a, addicted to wrestling type individual that has to know what's going on comparatively in those shows, because I sit here and talk about it the next day, so I kind of have to know what's going on. But, like, not too much to talk about, honestly. They were both good shows, and I enjoyed them, but, like, going down a point-to-point list is kind of not really what I'm here to do every week. It's kind of exhausting to go, alright, here's what happened on each show at the same time for each show, etc., etc. Next up is Rowdy Strong. And Knockout is the stipulation. I've heard that Knockout might not be in 2K20. I've heard that. I'm not sure if it's true, but I've heard that. So again, I'm very curious to see what that game is day one on Tuesday with whatever day one patch they have on Tuesday. I don't want to make any aspersions or judgments or, any kind of real type of, call on that, because I have not gotten my hands on it yet. Like, I can only judge so much from footage, and that footage was not on an actual console, not on a retail console. It was, a dev kit, right? Which is not the same as playing it on my system at my house in my real-world environment with whatever the patches happen to be. So, again, plenty of that next week. Plenty of that, don't you worry. But I will say, the one thing that was on last night for AEW was that Luchasaurus is injured with, a hamstring deal. He's possibly out for, 2 months, which is just not great. And they were in that tag team tournament. And they had to use Marco Stunt. Tombstone! And Marco Stunt, generally I don't have a problem with. But I don't want to see him in matches that are that long. Against the Lucha Bros. And granted, they spent most of that match just beating on that boy. And, alright, sure. But it's still, there is a certain amount of suspension and disbelief that you kind of have to have. And, man, anything with Marco Stunt just totally destroys that suspension of disbelief for me. Right? It's sure, as a manager that bumps and does high-flying manager stuff, I have no problems there. Putting him in a match that goes that long with one of the top tag teams in the world, not so much. And again, they spent most of that match just beating on that boy, right? Which is what should have happened. But what really should have happened would have been a 2-minute squash match. That's what should have happened, and I would have been fine with that. I think most of the audience would have been fine with that, that is complaining about it this morning. Because again, look, the dude looks like he's 12. I know he's not 12, but he looks like he's 12. It just doesn't look great. Visually, for a big-time wrestling show, having him fight the full-size dudes in a competitive match, is just not what I want to see on my wrestling show. That's just me. If he's fighting Max Mini, that's fine. If he's a manager that's doing bumps, that's fine. If he's, the third guy in a 6-man tag, I can even deal with that, right? But being one half of your tag team against the Lucha Bros, as someone who wants to believe what's happening in the ring and get invested, I have zero investment in Marco Stunt in that position they put him in last night. Shouldn't have happened. Just my opinion. Okay. So, besides that, we have another tidbit here on Cain Velasquez, and that is he has one more AAA match on his contract. So he's allowed to do one more match in AAA with the mask. I'm not sure if he's going to do a mask thing for that, but they're going to allow him to finish his contractual obligations with AAA, so I guess good for that, good for him, and we'll see who that's going to be against, multi-man or not, in AAA, considering he's fighting Brock Lesnar at the end of this month. So they can save that, man. They can totally save that AAA thing until the next Triple Mania. Like, that could totally happen. And hopefully would not be conflicting with his WWE date. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see here, Rowdy. We'll see. I'm gonna knock you out. Hey, get back here, man. The game said knock you. Get off the apron, man. Some of this stuff is just awkward. Slug Sploder on the outside. Pick him up, pick him up, pick him up. Body breaker. And then, reverse. I was going to do the Phoenix Plex on the outside, and Rowdy made sure that didn't happen. Come on now, Rowdy. Back in the ring? Back in the ring. That'd be nice, because I don't want to get counted out here in this matchup, if at all possible. And angle slam from Rowdy Strong. That happened. Rowdy mounting it. I can't get any reversals off here. It's just not my timing. My timing, and we'll see how my timing is in 2K20 when the buttons change to not be on the triggers anymore. That's going to be very interesting. I am very concerned on how that's going to turn out. Having played the last couple of years, and having played a bunch of the last couple of years, and being like, yeah, but I'm so used to triggers now, so making it triangle on PS4 is going to be a weird time. It's going to be weird. I'm not going to say bad, but it's going to be weird. So, Rowdy! There you go. He has to get knocked out, folks. I have to keep pummeling his brain into oblivion, Rowdy. I'm sorry. It has to be this way. Gut wrench. Boom. Now my usual report of who went over last night continues to do the same thing as the last 2 weeks, and that is NXT went over by about 10 minutes, whereas AEW ended at 10 p.m. And I'm not sure that's going to be, you know, effective in the long run for their ratings, being like, all right, well, I'm done watching AEW, what's going on with the Bruiserweight? But, you know, it was what it was, and it's fine. That match was fine. Alright, Rowdy. Alright, Rowdy. I'm gonna keep on keeping on here with these suplexes for days, as I need to knock you out. That needs to happen, Mr. Strong. From the top, the high rent district on Rowdy Strong. Pick him up, pick him up, pick him up. Slug Sploder on the outside. And hopefully, maybe, oh, there you go. Knocked him out. Good enough. Built to last. He managed to avoid my Phoenix Plex. He's lucky. And you can see there's still 2 guys left. So I'm going to end it there. There's McIntyre and Adam Cole. And I'm just not going to have time here. I've been sitting here for a half an hour already. And that's my time for today. So thanks for watching. More videos on this channel. I'll see you next time. And I'm out.